Alright boys, welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about the New York Knicks and potential trade targets. Some of these guys are going to be unrealistic, some of them are going to be realistic, some of them are going to be players that the Knicks are actually talking to right now to try to acquire, like Bruce Brown for example. But let's start off with a guy who would be great for our team but is not a realistic option, just for the heck of it, right? For fun, we don't play today, so why not? Jimmy Butler. The Heat currently, they won on Wednesday against the Kings, but prior to that, they had lost 5 in a row. They're not even in a playoff spot right now. They're in the play-in tournament. So I figured I would include this because Jimmy and Coach Tibb have played together. They know each other well. If we got Jimmy Butler, we'd have a reliable option next to Jalen Brunson. I love what Julius Randle has done this season. Of course, he's out with that shoulder injury for 2 to 3 weeks. But I need a guy next to Brunson that I know is going to show up, and that is certainly Jimmy Butler. We've got OG, Randle. If we had Jimmy on this team, I don't think anyone would be able to beat us. But it's not realistic, so we'll move on quickly with that. Another guy that I want to talk about that I don't see as realistic, the Knicks have been in contact, and it's DeJounte Murray. The thing with Murray is that it's going to cost a good player in multiple picks. That is just not a price that the Knicks should be looking at. The only move that we should be making is if we're going for a player that puts us over the top, or if we're going for a bench piece, which would include trading Evan Fournier in a first-round pick. An example of that would be Malcolm Brogdon. If we can get Brogdon for a first and Fournier, then I think we should do that because Brogdon's shooting over 40% from 3. He's a good 6-man. The Knicks know him well because they faced off against him 4 times last season. This season, of course, he is no longer with the Celtics, which hasn't hurt them because they're still the 1 seed. But our bench is legitimately my only concern. And it's not to say our bench is bad because we've stepped up without OG, Mitchell Robinson, and Randle. I'm just saying once we get to the playoffs, we start to talk about which guys do we trust. You've got Quentin Grimes, Miles McBride, Dante DiVincenzo will be back on the bench with a fully healthy. Actually, no, we won't. I'm tripping. I meant to say Josh Hart, right? I got the Villanova boys mixed up. Dante 100% should be starting. I mean, this guy has been on absolute fire the past month plus. I mean, God, DiVincenzo doing it on both ends. His shooting ability, his confidence, he gets steals, he defends, he can play make. He's got a handle. I love what Dante has done this season. He's just a winner. He's been a winner on every single team he's been on, the Bucks, Warriors, and even in college when he won a national championship. And then we've got, of course, we're looking at Precious Achiuwa, and Isaiah Hartenstein is starting until Mitch comes back. That's it. I mean, and Josh Hart too. So I like our bench. I just feel like we could use one more piece because we did lose IQ. We can't forget that. I mean, I know we love OG, we love Precious. We did lose Emmanuel quickly. We lost RJ, which to this point I think was for the best. Like just losing RJ. Okay, I don't want to say just losing RJ made us better because that's kind of messed up. But like losing RJ to me was big. He was on a huge contract. He certainly was not worth that. He was streaky. Ever since that injury, RJ just was not the same dude. So that's fine, but we still lost IQ. Our best defender, one of our best scorers and shooters. So if we can go out there and get Malcolm Brogdon, I mean, that's big time. That's big time. He is nowhere near the defender of an Emmanuel Quickly. He's a better shooter, though, and he's been around the league longer, so he would be good in the playoffs. IQ did struggle in the playoffs, which is sad. He really did, and it hurt, but that's the thing. Another option the Knicks could do is trade for Daniel Gafford. They could send Quentin Grimes for Gafford. They also could send Quentin Grimes over for, I'm looking at Atari Eason, the wing over there for the Houston Rockets, who's very young, former first-round pick, just like Grimes. That could be an option. I don't see that happening. These are things that have been talked about. The Knicks have expressed interest in Gafford, and they've expressed interest with Eason. I just don't see them trading Quentin Grimes for one of those players. To me, if the Knicks were to trade Quentin Grimes, it would be for a very, very good player. And it's basically, okay, give us Quentin Grimes or the deal's off and picks. So I think that's what the Knicks would save Grimes for, because when he's healthy, he has proven that he can knock down shots. He shoots with confidence. He can defend. I like Grimes. I do love Grimes. I was going to say I like him. I don't love him. In the sense of his ability, just as a person, and I love watching Grimes play. I know he's kind of frustrating sometimes because he doesn't score, but I feel like Grimes just needs to shoot the ball more. Defensively, he's as good as it gets. So I don't know why we would trade Grimes, because if we did, that would just create a weakness. We can't make a trade where it creates a weakness. And technically, if we were to get a star, we would have less depth. But again, I don't even know if depth is really what we need right now. The reason why I say that I would do that is because we're not losing anything. Okay, a first and Evan Fournier, what does that really do? But if we start losing multiple of these guys for a player, it's going to hurt. So I think the Knicks honestly are probably gonna either stand pat or not make make like a small trade for a bench piece. I don't see us getting a DeJounte Murray or a Clint Capella. I don't see us going out there and making a big time move. If we did, it would be super quiet. We already made our big move in OG and Precious in that swap. And yeah, sure, that worked out, and maybe we could do it again, but it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think the Knicks are fine where they're at. And I know I've been saying in my videos that we should make a trade, and that's just me being a YouTuber and me wanting something to talk about. I mean, that's just me getting excited, if anything. I don't really think we need to make a trade. It's just fun when we do, because it's something to talk about. And of course, during these days where we don't play, it's like, what the hell am I going to talk about? We already recapped the game yesterday and things like that. So I'm looking at my notes that I came up with you guys. I don't see anything else. I mean, I already talked about the majority of these players. Jordan Clarkson could be an option. Very good playmaker, very good scorer off the bench. We just played the Jazz and he didn't impress, but on the season, he's been fantastic. Looking like the value is going to cost at least one first-round pick of value in exchange for him. That would be good. I would like bringing in Clarkson. See, if we that's the perfect player for us, bro. Is somebody off the bench that we know can score, can play make, that's reliable. Give Brunson a breather. Once we take Jalen Brunson out of the game, which isn't going to be very often, but when we do, Jordan Clarkson certainly can step in. And we're going to have like Josh Hart and these boys. So I would love Jordan Clarkson. Kelly Olynyk's another option. He's not going to cost much, and he would give us depth next to Precious and Hartenstein until Mitch is able to come back. And also Jericho Sims has been playing. You got to give him credit. This guy can go up and get it and rebound the basketball. I like Jericho Sims. And I remember last season during the injury to Mitch, he stepped in and was able to give us good production as the guy starting. So, yeah, I've been pleased with him. Yeah, I mean, like, you look at what it would cost for DeJounte Murray. I mean, it's going to cost a couple of the players and picks. There's just no way we should do that. I don't think DeJounte Murray would be the difference of us being eliminated in the third round versus, you know, winning it all. I just don't see Murray as that dude. He's good, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if I would want to do that. So I'd probably stay away from that if I'm being honest with you guys. The player that I want the most, and I didn't intentionally mean to leave this to the end, is Bruce Brown. He's 27. He's on a very team-friendly, flexible contract. He just came off of being a rotational player on an NBA Finals team. He stepped up when it mattered most. This guy played 26 minutes per game. Of course, handling backup guard duties for even stretches, not completely, but for stretches. He knocked down big threes. He played defense, and he was a solid rebounder. He would give us balance, and he can also play make, like I just said. So I would love this man. If I could have one player to add to the Knicks, it would be Bruce Brown. I think he's the perfect fit. I mean, Jordan Clarkson obviously would be a little bit more sexier, but I just think Bruce Brown's a good fit because this dude seems like he's built for the bright lights, clearly, because he just showed it in the finals, so he can handle New York and Madison Square Garden. That's the video, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. Would you like to see the Knicks trade for any of these players? It's your boy, Knicks Daily. I love you guys. Smash the like button, subscribe. Peace.